Nobody expected that nonsense. 27-13 loss. I'm the doc, John Macaroon. I sat through that. Oh my goodness. Start to finish. Why? That did not go well at all. Welcome, welcome. We're going to react. Absolutely pathetic performance. It was not a game plan that was going to win any football game. That was the worst performance that they probably had since 2022, maybe even back to 2021 when the Lions were a team that was not a Super Bowl contender. That's a frustrating loss. That's not the way you start a season. There is no, oh, you ease your way into it. You just opposite, just 3 hours earlier, I sat and watched Tanner Engstrand have, Garrett Wilson looking like Jameson Williams, getting the football, getting targeted, moving the football well, offensive line that plays with passion, energy, play calls that, emphasize the strengths of your team, cleaner football. That looked like a team that just said, okay, this is our preseason. You're playing a division rival. You didn't match the intensity. You did not match the intensity of the Packers. You're not even matching my intensity. And I'm exhausted. That felt like a game that everybody had seen a long time ago. My nephew's blowing up my phone. Everybody's laughing at me for my prediction that I said the Lions are going to win 27-13. I didn't think they were going to play like that. I thought there'd be a little bit more juice. I thought there would be a little bit better execution. I thought John Morton would call a pass play over 9 yards. My goodness. That was the New York Jets John Morton that everybody did not want to see come here. Did you not learn from Ben Johnson? Simple as that. John Morton, you're going to have to stroll down and walk next to Dan Campbell and coach from the sideline. That was abysmal. That did not go in any way, shape, or form the way it needed to. What's your guys' reaction? We're going to take them all. Detroit Lions go to Green Bay, and they lose 27-13. The only highlight is a sick grab from Isaac TeSlaa. Props to you, because that was beautiful. One-handed grab. It's going to be on all the highlights. That's one way to introduce yourself to the NFL. After a Q&A with the doc this week in the locker room, you go out there and get a one-handed grab. That's right. But that was not the standard. And everybody's to blame. We're not going to just blame John Morton. We're not going to just blame Kelvin Shepherd. It starts with the offensive line. That was atrocious. Penei Sewell hasn't looked like that probably since Pee Wee high school football. What was going on with Penei Sewell? What was going on with that offensive line? They acted like they had never stepped foot and played five-man offensive line together. Like that probably since Pee Wee high school football. What was going on? Firing off and pushing my own phone. That's how frustrating that loss is. My goodness, that was disappointing. What's your feeling? Let's start with that. What's your feeling after a terrible showing? My headline from the game story was, we're not good. That's not how you perform as a season opener. You didn't have to win the game. But look, it was going to be competitive. You knew that the Packers were going to come with some juice. They just traded for Micah Parsons, and he ends the game with the acknowledge me finger wave post, number one. That's why you make a move, to spark a little bit of your team. Your team went out there and played like as if they were the Super Bowl champions. There was no hunger. Where was the hunger? Where was the sense of urgency? They had played like, they treated that game as if they had 17 more. And it was just another one on the schedule. The way even Dan Campbell said it. Dan Campbell said, status quo. No, your team didn't play that good. They didn't get in the end zone. They didn't meet their expectations. It's not, well, we expected to be down. We expected to face some challenges. No, I'm kind of expecting you to play a lot better. A lot better than that. Again, it's 27-13. You weren't in the game. That's not the standard. Clearly, everybody knows it. That's not the standard. And there's 450 of you that hopped on quickly. Man, I'm humbled by that. Smash the like button. Don't take it for granted. I want to see how you guys feel about it first, and then we'll break it all down. I got nowhere to be. I want to break down this because I'm upset. I'm frustrated. That's not how you play NFL football against your competitor, against your rival. That's not what you bring to the table. You bring energy. You bring a game plan that's going to help you compete. You just signed Jameson Williams, and you used him once. And I think Gibbs set an NFL record. What was it? 9 passes for 8 yards? You are allowed to find that intermediate zone between 10 and 20 yards. But if you're not going to block for Jared Goff, that's the version of Jared Goff that got traded. That's not season opening material. That's not what this standard is with Dan Campbell. That was awful. And I know many of you are mad at John Morton. Ghetto Boy Juan, you're the first one in here to our reaction show. Our very first reaction show. 500 people here within 5 minutes. Thank you. Across 2 platforms. Smash the like button. Come here. You'll get your comments read. No corporate shilling here. I'm not Tony Romo going, I promise you guys this will get better. If you play like that, Ben Johnson's going to hang 60 on you. And that's not what I want to see at Ford Field. It was supposed to be the other way around. Start the year 1-0. You kick it off. You make Micah Parsons regret going to the Packers. He's happy as all hell. Now you got to face Ben Johnson. And if they go out and win, luckily you have an advantage that they're going to play on Monday night. They get shorter rest. But if you bring that performance to the table, Ben Johnson's going to hang 60 on you in front of your fans that are paying $500. Congratulations, you get a Jahmyr Gibbs burger that has pizza on it. We ain't interested in that. We're interested in winning football. Anakin gets in. Doc, I'm going to say it now. That was absolutely pathetic. Absolutely, that was pathetic. Everybody saw it. Your favorite uncle, that was an ass whooping. Christian Howell. Doc, you going to ask Dan if we're still good? No. I want to try to get him to answer. It's going to be, what the heck happened? We'll talk to Dan tomorrow. He's going to talk to the media now. I'm going to Baltimore. I want to go see something good. So hopefully they play better against the Bears. They ride the momentum off of their first win and go to Monday Night Football. Because if you don't, you're going to get shellacked by the Bears, then you're going to get shellacked by the Baltimore Ravens. The Lions are not good, clearly. They started the year terribly, and all the stuff that people worried about, they proved the naysayers right. That's what's more frustrating. Oh, and what the one that bothered me the most was the one that I respect the most. Not the ESPN shills, not the ones that come in here and kiss the butt, but somebody that does hard work. When Peter Schrager says, I'm shockingly predicting the Lions not making the playoffs, it opens your eyebrows. Because that man talks to everybody. He ain't going to spit that out on the air unless he talked to people. All these executives saying the Lions have a young offensive line and have a turnover at coordinators. You're supposed to be able to buck that with the talent that you have. If you put them in the right position, you don't play like that. That was Michigan, Oklahoma all over again. I like that game, just to let you know. So to me, the football weekend was not lost. There was a team that won, which was the Spartans. Take that, Boston College. Great question from William. And get your reactions in. We're going to try to get as many as possible. Does it get worse from here? No, it gets better. There is no way a Dan Campbell team practices this week after watching that film and looks like that. Then you're talking about a situation in which a message is getting lost, and now you're talking serious. Nick, both coordinators were terrible. They were ass. I hope Dan yells at everyone. Corey Patterson, absolutely pathetic. Zero pressure. Offense under John Morton looked below average. Of course it looked like that. That looked terrible. And then everybody's talking about this. Who drops their defensive end in coverage on third down? What are you trying to revolutionize football? Yeah, Aiden got some picks, but he wasn't dropping back. And then you had Davenport do it too. That's not what we're doing here. We're not learning on the job. Run the defense. Pressure the quarterback. No, and stop with the nonsense. You know what they actually had? They actually had, unbelievably, they act like, literally, I'm going to fill you in. Somebody slipped. If you just go, I don't know if they aired it. The company line from the Lions is, you have to earn the right to sack the quarterback by stopping the run. It makes sense. If you don't get it to 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, you're not going to have a chance to. But guess what? They fed that same BS line to Tony Romo, and he aired that. Like we don't listen to Casey Rogers. Like there's not fans that go, oh my God, you just heard the same thing. They fed him some BS line and he spewed it out there for you. You have to earn the right to sack the quarterback. No, you don't. You get up the middle and you sack the quarterback. Stop feeding us nonsense. You sack the quarterback by beating your man one-on-one, using a swim move, rip move, powering somebody, winning. You have to earn the right. They literally fed him a line that was said by Casey Rogers and has been the company line. I'm wondering who fed him that line. That's a doozy one. They literally got Tony Romo to spew a line. You have to earn the right to sack the quarterback. Well, Micah earned it, and he earned $48 million as he's chasing your quarterback and sacking him and posing. And they got momentum. Get out of here with that Tony Romo. He's just a guy that reads lines and tries to tell you guys it's going to be okay. You know how lazy that sounded? It's going to be okay because someone told me that when I came and sat on the sideline. Congrats, man. I could do that. Might have to kind of open your eyes and see what you saw. The message you should have shared was, if that offensive line doesn't step it up, if that quarterback doesn't get protection, you're going to lose all your games. What kind of message is he giving? Like he thinks the fans here in Detroit are stupid? Ben Johnson was laughing his ass off today. So my feeling about the game is being angry. That's not Detroit Lions football. And remember, there were people online that cover the Lions that within one drive were like, everybody calm down. Just one drive. So quick to tell everybody. Congrats, man. It didn't get better. That was one whole game of that. So you're not going to tell me and my red-blooded nature and win and I'm happy, lose and play bad and don't be competitive. This is Detroit, man. Take that soft stuff and go somewhere else with that. Listen, the real fans, the 800 of you, and hopefully we clear 1,000, don't want to listen to that every day. You lost the game 27-13, and it wasn't even that close. Oh, let's wait until the end to get Tesla a highlight. Maybe you want to throw him in there in the first half. You don't got to play him. You know, you could have had the same pitch count on Tesla. I know he was sick, but throw him in there. See what he's got. Everybody, what's your reaction to the Hutch and Davenport dropping into coverage on 3rd and 7? Is Hutchinson better than Ennis Rakestraw now? Hutch needs to go forward, not backwards. Every play. Matt, worst showing for the Lions in 4 seasons. Let's start with the basics. Hutchinson toward the quarterback. Correction. Toward the quarterback. Got punched right in the mouth. What's your feeling as you talk to me today? Am I overreacting? I just don't like to watch piss poor football when the 3 hours before was beautiful football. Back and forth, competitive. Aaron Glenn had his team. Aaron Glenn's brand new. He had his team competing against the Steelers. Back and forth, first down, scoring drive, trading mistakes. That looked like NFL football. What the heck was that from the Lions? You practice. Christian Howell, how I'm feeling? Not enough alcohol in this house. That's why I love you guys. That's why there's 800 of you in here hopping with me. Because you're angry and frustrated. That's not the standard of Detroit Lions football. And John Morton is going to realize quickly you're going to get treated the way you were in like New York if you don't step it up. Matt, and thank you guys. Super chats go right to the front of the line. $5. We're showing in 4 seasons. Morton needs to watch 2024 game tape to see what the offense can do. You know what you wanted to say. Let's say it again. Hutch dropping back in coverage on 3rd and 7. WTF. Matt, I'm so glad you're part of our community. Always enjoy seeing your comments. I know I've seen them more than once. Thank you so much humbly for the $5. Gun guy, we be aight. There's no guarantees. Hope is not, something that you have to earn it. You have to earn the right to win a game. If they want to say you have to earn the right to sack the quarterback, you have to earn the right to score more points than the opponent. You got to get in the end zone. You got to take shots. I mean, listen, this is philosophical here. I'm not a world-class defensive coordinator, but my brain tells me if all the plays are within 6 yards, I feel like the defense can collapse and get there pretty quickly. And all your second down calls were atrocious. The blocking was bad all the way around, bad. That was different than what Ben Johnson brought to the table. When Ben Johnson was running the offense and it was smooth, it was a well-oiled machine. You had Amon-Ra going and you had Laporta going, and that was it. You couldn't get Gibbs going. Andrew gets in. Proud of you for being here. Smash that like button. So many failures. Davenport was invisible. Hutch not good. Arnold was cooked. Offensive line was bad. Simple as that. And when you say that one by one, it's frustrating. This is a Super Bowl caliber team that started the year off as if they treated it like a preseason game. Division games are important. The teams are watching what you're doing, and they found a crack in your armor, and they took advantage of it. Brand Holmes and Dan Campbell think they're good. You're never good. You're never good. The answer really should be all the time, you're never good. Maybe it's a stark reality. They need to see that. The answer should always be, here's a free one. We're always looking to improve this football team. We're always looking for defensive ends. We're always looking for players that can sack the quarterback. That's a position you can never not look at. And then tell us why Tyrus Wheat got brought here and then is inactive. You never have enough talent until you win the Super Bowl. Maybe twice, because we're owed it. And I love this opinion too. Well, it's welcome. Max Splicer, my God, y'all overreacting like crazy. They came out flat and got whooped. We've been the hammer plenty. Don't freak out because we were the nail today. No, we're not freaking out. It's just an uncompetitive loss is disappointing. It's frustrating. It's angering because it was not really execution. That game plan was awful. They walked in and they realized, oh, that's not the game. Defensively and offensively, that was not collectively the way to utilize the talent on that roster. You got Jameson Williams. You're not going to try a 50-yard bomb once on him? Throw it to Jameson Williams. Use him more. Stop with the middle runs, the interior middle runs into Glasgow. They were stunting like that to create. They were like, oh my God, yes, please run into the interior. The offensive line, I don't know what happened. That was one of their worst performances. And Penei Sewell didn't have a good performance. But listen, Mac, I feel like, and it's just me, I'm a simpleton, but I've always believed in the same thing. It's the way in which you play dictates how you react. My nephew, my beautiful nephew, is like, this looks like the 2020 Lions. I said, nephew, I think they're going to play better, but, I was calm for him. I love it. I love it. He's got the same mentality as me, like, whoa, what the heck is this? You care because it's the football team that represents Detroit, and everybody here in town wants that team to win. And starting the season off 0-1 is not helpful. Teams that start the year 0-2 have less than 25% chance of making the playoffs. So every game, there's only 17 of them you got to react to. There's no overreaction. This is football. Max Splicer, my God, you're underreacting. That team played terrible, lost by 14, and really lost by 20. The Tesla was charity. Oh, and sorry, guys. I'm getting to the super chats slowly here, but I will get to them all. My goodness, thank you. $20. Tampa, Detroit Lion. Oh, no. Morton is Anthony Lynn 2.0. Tampa, I hope you're still here. I got to scroll through these faster. My goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chats. My goodness, my goodness. Matt, Tampa. Thank you so much. 1999. I'm really humbled. Morton is Anthony Lynn 2.0. Please, is John Morton Anthony Lynn 2.0? Have you guys already jumped off the bandwagon after one game? I have not. But that is not the standard. You got to get to the office at 2:30. You spent all those hours game planning, and you couldn't expose the – listen, for those that say you're overreacting, that's a playoff caliber defense. So you get to the Super Bowl, it's okay to lose 27-13? I would come on here screaming if that's how they performed in the Super Bowl against the Ravens defense or the Bills defense. You're going to dink and dunk all the way down the field? Take some shots. Use your skill players. At least that might open things up for Gibbs and Montgomery. Tampa, thank you so much. Check down John Morton from John Doe. Thank you, guys. The comments are flying in. I can't even get to the chats fast enough. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot to see the chat fired up. You're welcome in this community. Nearly 900 people. Smash that like button. Matt N for $5. Now we know the Hutch rule was because the O-line and Johnny Moe are lost. It wasn't good. There was going to be an expectation that the offense was going to be slow, but not that slow. There's levels to this. You can't be that slow. You can't perform like that. The fan base is going to be upset with you, clearly. Man. Question for Dan this week from Matt. How can this team have that much time to prepare and come out that flat? What will you do differently going forward? I'm sure those are being asked to him right now. And speaking of that, too, I got to check with the fellas, too, because we got our reaction stories here. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, my goodness. The game ended at 7:14. So our next story is going to come out 8:14. I'm going to let my guys know that. So 8:14 reaction. See, doing live programming here. Get your comments in. First and foremost, who do you blame most? The coaches, the offensive line, Jared Goff, John Morton, Calvin Shepard? What were those embarrassing moments, TM? Goff had some embarrassing moments today. Broski gets in. Time to face reality. Ben Johnson made Jared Goff. Yes, coaching matters. Do you believe that the people that question the coordinators have a leg to stand on now? Now we have to entertain it. And here's what I'm going to do, too. Because I'm a psychologist, and I also, too, understand how people start to try to shape your opinions. All opinions are welcome here. The calm down crowd is welcome. I don't agree with it. They're welcome. I'm mad. The overreactors, you're all welcome here. So if someone feels the need to list off all the things you can't feel, your first comment to them should be, stop dismissing my feelings. Let me tell you what I think. That's not how you lead. That's not how you lead typically a response. Feel how you want and debate. So just tell that person if they feel like you want to complain after the first drive. Oh, it's too early to complain. Say, don't dismiss me. That's your first 3 words. Don't dismiss me. I do want to react after the first drive. So be it. And then when the Lions make a play, that's what fans do. So tell those people that feel the need to go online and tell you and list how you should feel. Don't feel like this. Don't feel like that. Don't feel like this. There's like 19 things they try to tell you to do. I'm no puppet. I'm going to feel how I feel when I feel it, and then I'm going to say it. So the first thing you tell them, in my humble opinion, is don't dismiss me. Here's what I think. And if I ever do that, send me that message too, because we're all human. Anakin came home from college to watch that. Exactly. I have to write about that. Oh man, that was a dreadful outing. I wanted to come in here and cheer a victory. Dr. Detroit, $2. Thank you. Hutch, $25 million a year for 4 years. Hashtag we're good. You downgraded. You're like, okay, we're going to downgrade you, Aiden. Right away. Right away. You downgraded Aiden. Thank you so much humbly for the $2. Man, you guys are really, really nice. The 900 of you. You could go anywhere. You're in here watching, hopefully being entertained, hopefully feeling like there's somebody that feels the same way you do. Like, how do you watch sports, sit there and watch Jared Goff throw it right to the guy, and the guy makes a great play, and you're like, oh, we'll get him next time. You're like, darn it. You're throwing it into a clogged lane because your offensive coordinator won't throw the ball deep. No, duh, they're going to intercept you. All the players are in the 6-yard window you've decided to play in. Take the shackles off, John Morton. That's it. You get one game. That's it. Because your competition is a first-time offensive coordinator in Tanner Engstrand, and he learned how to move the football and score points and touchdowns. And got the offensive line blocking for Hall. And you said it too when you saw Justin Fields. You're like, yeah, Aaron Glenn, the first chance he had, found a quarterback that could move his legs. I would too. Look at Steve. Good for them. I'm watching Valeni and Costa and their postgame show. They're calm and cool. Well, also then fill me in. What is their perspective? It's just one game. We're not going to react. I love those guys. I spent time talking to Jim. Those guys are great. But this is how I feel right now. It's opening week. That's the week. That's the time you should have the most emotion and the most execution. You had all offseason to prepare for one team. That's the whole point. Did you skip it? This should have been your best effort. They're just like, it's one game. That's fine. And there's some people here that feel the same way. There's some people laughing at me going, look at that guy. But I'm just here to be honest and real with you. When they lose, it's frustrating. And when they lose by 2 touchdowns and the last one's a cheap one, Anakin, you should always choose family. Is Anakin wrong for skipping his brother's youth football game to watch the Lions? All right. Who is most to blame for the Lions' loss? Oh, ahlan. Hi, my friend John from Mr. Mahdi. I'm surprised how Detroit looked like that. Where was our defense or our offense? Both were out of order. This is the truth. Absolutely out of order. I love it. Family of the Lions know that's out of order. You don't play like that. And he knows too. We're Middle Eastern. We got fire in our blood. We don't just roll around and be like, well, let's get to next week. We don't talk like that. We don't live like that. And we don't do sports like that. One of the problems was the offensive line. Oh my God, they were awful. They were awful. And they're going to be unhappy. That's going to be a grumpy bunch this week. The old offensive line is the biggest problem, hands down. The old line is the biggest problem. Graham Glasgow, Penei Sewell. It wasn't their best performance. I'm getting the update now because I assigned Vito to do the Terrion update. So I'm going to get it right now. So I'm on the air, and I want to thank personally, first and foremost, I couldn't do the Detroit Lions on SI Lone Wolves podcast if Christian, Vito, Emmett weren't grinding behind the scenes for me. I did the game story. I did all the work this morning. They're going to do the work tonight. I have the best team. All of you could start a team. I got the best team. Right now, the update live from Vito. Dan Campbell said he wasn't sure of the severity of Terrion Arnold's groin. Boom. I'm so thankful I work with Christian, Vito, and they learned the lessons. I mean, I'll share some information. Christian was in on the Jameson Williams situation. He was up to date. He had a feeling, and he had it prepared. Boom. The minute it came out, we had it written for you guys. 5 minutes later, because he had a hunch. Him, Hutchinson, could be in line for an extension off of his natural instincts that he cultivated working in this job. Man, I was so proud. I'm like, how the hell did you? I was just sitting down. I'm like, oh, the JMO news, 11:30. He's like, I'm on it. I'm like, what do you mean you're on it? He's like, it's already done. He's like, I had a hunch. Because he's a grinder. He's amazing. Timothy gets in. Haters are masked debaters. Grow up and accept the losses and learn from the mistakes. Detroit Lions will. I expect they will too. But listen, we all went through the different various eras. We'd have no idea. Y'all might end up in a precarious situation the next couple of days, and you might not get a chance to watch the Lions. We can't guarantee tomorrow. So we're here right now, live on the internet with 1,000 people on 2 platforms. Thank you. Thank you. And you're going to face wrath in the chat, but I respect your opinion, Timothy. You got guts. I respect you. It's not growing up. It's about the fact that performance was not the standard. When you don't meet the standard, there's an issue. Dan said in his presser that everything will be fixed. You can't say that. Of course he's going to say that, but now you got to do it. Now the talk time is over. Listen, what is he going to say? Man, I'm worried. He's going to try and level everything out, but yeah, he's got to definitely step it up next week. They got to clean up and step it up, get back to playing Detroit Lions football. And guess what, guys? No matter what, talent wins. Are the Packers more talented? So tell me today, why did the Packers win? Why did the Packers win? They scored more points than us. And then a quick fantasy update. My nephew whooped my ass in fantasy. So I'm also grumpy too because he is laying it on thick. That his uncle who works in sports can't put a fantasy team together, that I took a risk. I drafted 3 guys on the same team, and they played the Browns, and Joe Burrow starts slow all the time, but I'm going to be the last one standing. I took Burrow, Jamar Chase, and listen, that's how football gods work. I took Jamar Chase, so Bijan was going to have a 50-yard touchdown on play 3. Duh. If I would have took him, he would never sniff the end zone. Put more of Steve's comments on the channel. He has a great account photo. Steve, they like you. They like you as much as we do. Matt, $5 super chat. Hey, Eric, I'm going to get to you in 1 second. You tell me. I'll take a list. Steve has followed us for so long, and now he follows us on the live chat. One of the 1,000 people that are in here. Make sure you guys smash the like button and keep the comments coming in strong. I'm proud of you guys. One more. Steve. Pretty much, yeah, they're not angry. Yeah, they're not angry. They're all going to cash a fat check tomorrow. The fans are angry because you're going to charge them $300 to get in the building next week. And $20 for a Jahmyr Gibbs sandwich that tastes like pizza. I'm angry for you guys. Put that performance in Ford Field, they're going to boo. So step it up. They're not going to play like that. I guarantee it. Eric, what should Dan Campbell face tomorrow? Doc from Eric Taylor. Doc, what questions will you ask this week? What do you want me to ask? I'm sure when I'm done, I don't know when I'm done, maybe in a half hour, we'll keep going as long as the numbers are climbing. I love it. Wait, Steve, if you're, listen, I'm not in their class. I'm just a regular guy who's crazy about broadcasting. I found a love of podcasting, and I took it to the best of my ability. But I want to know. I'm on 2 platforms, so there's about There's a combined 1,000 people here. If you guys want to peek over there, how many they got? I just want to know. Am I in their class? Am I way below their class? Am I above their class? It says on X there's 900 people, but on my screen, and I'll screenshot it to prove it, I'm not lying, there's 980 people here. So, I don't know. If someone wants to go peek at theirs, tell me what the others are doing. I'm just curious, just to know. I'm a fact finder. If one of you, Jeff Lammy or Eric Taylor, just want to go hop around the sphere and tell me, am I in the conversation? Am I the worst? I don't know. But I want to keep delivering the passion because I'm not happy. Ask Dan, what critical improvements need to happen before the Bears game? Boom. That's a good one. What are the critical improvements? He's going to say, next question. You're the guy that said we're good. Your headline, Mr. Macaron, did you say we're not good in the headline? Yes, I did. Ask Dan what critical improvements need to happen. That's a great question. And remember, you guys can always email me and text me that in a comment on any video. Hey, John, I'm thinking about this. Ask Dan this. I may ask it. I may not, but I may find in some way to get that information to you. I'm just a conduit to you guys. That's been the secret to my success. What critical improvements from, I got you as Emerson, from Trey Emerson. Got it. That might be my question. Doc, what is the reason for this beatdown in your opinion? The reason is my season prediction is 10-7, 11-6, get to the Super Bowl and lose. It's not 9-8, fight for the playoffs. And there's reasons. First of all, they did not play good football. 1. 2, I just spent 3 hours before watching good football. That Steelers game, I sat there watching, feet up, going, all right, prepping my day, prepping how things were going. And I'm like, this is fun. This is what football should look like. Back and forth, 2 coaches with great game plans, trying to use their expertise. Aaron Glenn's got, struggles with his defense a little bit, and he's trying to match wits with Aaron Rodgers. And then Justin Fields is using his legs and making plays. It's going back and forth down to the wire, and Aaron Rodgers is clutch. There's some plays that got messed up from the Jets side on special teams. They rebounded. Tanner Engstrand's on the Jets. Got the team to score 30 points. So, yeah, I look at other teams. So, I also am opening to talk that maybe Tanner would have been a little bit more in tune with what 2025 offense looks like. The John Morton that just coached just a minute ago was the John Morton that the Jets fans did not really take too kindly to. That's not the standard. You got to evolve. It's got to be more creative. You got to listen, when the offensive line doesn't play well, that's on John Morton. When the offense is bogged down and is dink and dunk and not taking deep shots and not aggressive and doesn't score in the red zone, that's John Morton's fault and Dan Campbell's. So it's not a beatdown. There's a high standard from me. There's a high standard for them. And so that's not the way the Lions represent the city of Detroit when they go play football. It's to go to Green Bay and get taken apart bit by bit by bit by bit across the board. So I should be okay with that? No, I will bring it. If they lose 18 games, I'll bring it frustration all 18 games until they win a Super Bowl. The fire burns within me until they win a Super Bowl. You fight for it. Otherwise, why are you doing it? Listen, otherwise, if you have a guest that you invite over to watch football, do you like the guest that just kicks their feet up and just goes, oh, that was a nice play by the Bills? Hell no. I want to watch with my nephew. My nephew, when Lamar Jackson has a run, he's got a fantasy team. He jumps out of his seat and is like, holy crap, look at Lamar go. Why don't we got him? And he's screaming his head off. And when the Lions stink, they're like, oh my God, he literally sent me 75 texts. Why is Hutchinson in coverage? Why is Jameson Williams not getting thrown the ball? Why is John Morton can't call a play? And I'm like, nephew, I can't keep up with you. I'm trying to type, man. I'm trying to make some money. But I love him. I love him to death. He's got it. He's got what I got. And then, of course, he's also got the part that I got to try to take out. He's like, your fantasy team's ass, and I'm going to whip your butt. He's like, I think I should work for Sports Illustrated. I should work for On SI. You think I'm happy with that too? With him needling me? He whooped me. And he told me my season's already over. So I'm listening to that too in the background. Because I took Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. I thought week 1, I thought like a genius. They're going to go into the Browns and they're going to curb stomp them. Joe Burrow's going to have 3 touchdowns and Jamar Chase is going to have 1 and T. Higgins is going to have 1. And I'm going to have 75 points from those 3 guys alone. And that did not happen because Joe Burrow always starts slow again this year. And of course, I took him in fantasy, and my nephew kicked my ass. Kicked my ass. Yeah, exactly. Listen, they're good guys. They have a relationship with the team. But those are the two truest guys you're going to find talking about it. And it's hard because they're on the air 20 hours a week. I'm on the air 6, 7. So I can scream my head off for 7 hours. I don't know if I can scream for 20. Maybe. And see, Cynthia knows it was sickening. That was not the Detroit Lions. Cynthia, shout out to you. 1,000 people now. We are climbing. That's awesome. And I think from what Steve said, unless he's blowing smoke, we have the most at the moment. Man, that's humbling. After a Lions game, 2 platforms on X and on YouTube, you guys come here and want to check it out. Man, that makes me feel good. You reward me for going 41 days strong. You want to see what I have to say. And you know that I'm going to share your comments because you're the show. I'm just the one turning on the microphone. You're the show. You guys are the show. You guys are the ones that fire me up. But man, that makes me feel good if you're telling the truth that I have the most right now. That's really nice. That's not deserved. Thank you. That really means a lot to me. Troy Emerson, speaking of the brain drain, how did the Lions let all those assistant coaches walk? Well, they knew because, listen, if John Morton wasn't here, he was going to the Bears. So Dan understood that there was going to be a relationship with Goff. And he wanted Morton to kind of take that and maybe have a redemption with all this talent. But there is a discussion to be had. It's still early. It's a seed. But Tanner Engstrand, we have now 2 sample sizes. He was an offensive mind right next to Ben Johnson. And Dan Campbell has made a mistake before, as somebody referenced earlier. Dan Campbell picked Anthony Lynn. I think John Morton's not going to be that conservative again. Do you care that John Morton's up in the booth? I do. I think I do. You can sit with Goff. You can analyze things. You can tell him what you're seeing. Goff can tell you, hey, I want to run this. What the heck? Jared Goff said that he wants to take control of the offense more. That didn't look like a Jared Goff offense to you. Did that look like Jared Goff play calling to you? No. That was very tight, conservative. You didn't unleash J-Mo. You shackled J-Mo and Gibbs. We went into the season saying it would take a lot to not be successful with Gibbs and Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra shows up. He can get open. He's punching people. Laporta, you figured out how to get involved. Now, the issue was you weren't able to crack the defense of the Packers. You have to credit the Packers, always. Their defense is legit, and they added Micah Parsons. But your offense was, I think, a big part to blame. Collectively, your defense did okay. 24 points is within reason of the National Football League. What's the biggest reason? The coaching staff did not come with the proper game plan on both sides of the ball. There was no pressure. The pressure wasn't there. Right away, when Dan Miller says it, first 2 drives, Jordan Love's sitting there like this. When a quarterback can do this, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5, that's a problem. The quarterback should never be able to turn his head back. The second he gets like that and the ball's not out, he should be on the ground. Green Bay win because they were focused to win and there was more aggression. Better plan and studied our players well. You can see it. No disrespect, you know. They had a better plan. That makes me mad. You have Dan Campbell, who's been in the league so long, John Morton been in the league so long, and it's the game plan too. What's infuriating for those that say calm down, this should be the game plan that's the most secure. You had months since what, May? Green Bay. You need to know. I mean, I know they're not showing a whole heck of a lot, but you know their tendencies. You know what they're going to bring to the table. You know what's going on. But you know what you don't know is they got Micah Parsons, who gave them a jolt, made them play harder. Man, that's frustrating at the highest level. Frustrating at the highest level. Why did the Lions lose today? What's your biggest reasons, in your opinion, guys? What's the reason the Lions had an ugly opener? It's ugly. That's what it's just the biggest reason is it's ugly. It's ugly. And nobody likes ugly play. What's the reason the Lions lost this game? Interior of the offensive line, I think, gets a big chunk of the vote. They play bad. That's concerning. They're young. They're going to have to mature. Corey gets in. No Ben Johnson. That's why. Ed O'Neill. The offensive line got completely manhandled. If you couldn't beat Green Bay, you aren't beating Baltimore, and dare I say Cleveland. Woo. Ed, welcome in. I haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you for tuning in. Man, there's almost 1,100 people in here. Please smash that like button. That's how the internet knows that we're doing it. That's how we can be one of the sites that people come to pay attention. Man, that means a lot. 1,000 people are in here paying attention as the whole world is texting me. What happened? What happened? Your Lions. Oh, well, listen, you know who's texting me now? You know you're getting out there more than you thought when Dolphins fans are blowing up my phone. Ravens fans are blowing up my phone. It's because I interacted with all of them. I trolled them all. So now they're all coming back at me. The Packers fans are mad at some other guy on another network, but they're blaming me. I'm like, I don't put videos on the internet like that. I don't do reactions. I do them on my website. That's the other guy. I love it. Almost 1,100 people in here growing in the last hour. That means a lot, from 300 to 600 to 1,100. Thank you, guys, because the reason is I'm going to highlight what you say, and we're going to have a conversation. I'll get to you, Dr. Detroit, in 1 second. I think you might have messaged me that online too. Rookie guards with not enough real game time plus. Is game really going to handle the center position? Rookie guards with not enough real game experience. Oh, 40 phenom. This was as bad as the Patricia versus the Jets. All right. Now, I got this too in some variety or form from a lot of people, and I think including Dr. Detroit. Lions media lost credibility with me on these Brad and Dan Campbell picks. They don't look as advertised. Well, first and foremost, I want to say this. Within the realm of a game, you can only report on what you see. And what you saw was the defense taking advantage of the offense. That did kind of show up today. The Lions offense didn't look crisp. That was one of the performances that you read about that we said the Lions offense had one of those days. Now, you also can't predict that Terrion wasn't there. He got a groin injury. You need health. Now, did the Lions bring the level of capability that they need to? Not from Davenport, not from Hutch, not from Tyleek, not from everybody involved. Brian Branch should not be taking another undisciplined penalty. So there's a lot of factors collectively. And also, too, you got to be remembered, too, the Lions did not play the Packers, and we're not following the Packers. Things changed, okay? The things changed last Sunday when they sparked some momentum. Momentum in sports, and that's what I study in psychology, belief, hope. You know what the organization did to the Packers when they brought in Micah Parsons? They said, playtime's over. So listen, I truly, and I joke around that I don't care if you like my credibility or things like that, but no, I'm lying. That's just denial. I truly care that the 1,100 people watching care about my credibility. I truly do. It's the media. I don't care what they think of me. You guys, truly, I care. But I don't think we lose credibility when they enacted a move that didn't happen 6 weeks ago. So when an organization says, go get Micah, that's a win now move with a defense that was already top 10. Now, maybe I could have made a better prediction. I thought the Lions would triple focus that they got Micah. Oh, I thought if the Packers did not trade for Micah, I would have picked the Lions to lose today. Off of the very reasons. I would have had them as a 27-24 loss. But because the Packers traded for Micah, I figured the Lions would triple focus. All week would be, if John Morton's in the lab at 3:30 a.m., they'd find a way to expose the secondary without Hobbs. They didn't have Hobbs. So I don't really take you lost credibility because you didn't report accurately. I'm sorry, I can't. And it's only one game in regards to the play. There is evolving. This is not the end all be all, but it is a little warning sign that that's what could happen in the playoffs. That's why we say get a mobile quarterback. That's why you say make an all-in move in 2023 and 2024. That's why we don't listen to the other people that say Brad should just sit on his hands and make all the great moves that he makes and don't question Brad. Get out of here. You haven't won a Super Bowl. So I hope that's a fair explanation. I hope I didn't cause you to lose an explanation. I'll put it here in the chat if you want to email me. But I always say the best way is to DM me. That's what I see first. Email, guys, I get thousands of emails. Half of them are like so nonsensical. But at Detroit Podcast is the easiest way to DM me, follow me. And then if you do want to email me, it's real simple. Nice things. All bad words get spammed out. That's my email. How do you DM me? You go on X, as you see the scroll, at Detroit Podcast on Twitter. Follow me. I follow you. Or just tag me. Hey, I heard your show. Follow me so I can DM you. Or just comment on any guys. I'm putting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos a day. Just pick one. I see them all. I see all the comments. Pick one and say, hey, I want to message you something. Man, there's 1,100 still growing. Please hit the like button, smash the like, hit the retweets, tell everybody that I'm here. You guys are rabid. I love it. And again, I apologize humbly. Me and Vito coordinating. He is diligently typing, and we are getting the next story out, which is the Terrion update. So they let me broadcast and get content up, and Vito 5 minutes ago had the story on Terrion up. So, and then we're just now going through the fact that I did a reaction video, sent it out to them to get it out to the internet. So now I'm putting it out to the world. You'll see live. Dan Campbell, not sure of Terrion Arnold severity. Not sure of severity of Terrion Arnold injury. That's what I love. I have a great team, and it involves Vito, Christian, all the great staff here. Got to give my Vito credit. All right, let's reset. The reason why we're angry is the Lions didn't win, and they didn't play well. Who's to blame? What happened? So let's just go through the game. The Lions, and I am that way. Guys, I will tweet from the start of the game to the end, and I don't care what you guys think of my reactions, personally. I am reacting live to instant stimuli. And I am not happy that they went on defense first. Be aggressive. Go on offense. Score points. Get 7 points. Stop with you don't have the Bears defense. You have a good defense, but you don't have the Bears defense on the road in a hostile environment with a crowd that's going to be, you want to test, you want to put your defense to the test. It's a league that doesn't let you play defense. Go on offense. Take the win, and you won the toss. Tails never fails. Take the football. Run it down their throat. Score a touchdown. Take the crowd out of it. And then you give the momentum to your defense. I don't care about the analytics. The analytics say, John, that in the second half, when you have the ball, you are 58% chance to win. I don't care. It's an offensive league. Take the ball, score points, put them on the defensive. Does that happen? No. Jordan Love gets to play stand-up quarterback and doesn't have to move off his spot all that much. Okay. And then what do? Your offense didn't look right. It wasn't me. It didn't feel right. It just felt like they were running. It just felt basic. It felt like a training camp practice offense. That didn't look week 1 NFL standard. Did that look like that to you? Maybe I just have Super Bowl only standards, but the Jets looked so much better, so much more crisp, so much more fluid. Am I wrong? I don't know, because my perspective was I watched I definitely had the crazy setup, and my mind was all over the place. I had the phone on the Washington game, the laptop on Red Zone, which was still awesome. I didn't see any commercials, but I wasn't paying attention. But my main focus was the Jets and the Steelers. I was like, this is amazing. Amazing. I was having such a good time. I loved it. And of course, I'm watching for Tanner because I truly think that he was doing some things. And it looked fluid. I wanted to see. Plus, to me, and no lie, I think the Jets are a train wreck. And it's always fun because in the back of your mind, you always kind of think, what are they going to do to lose a game? And I had a feeling that they were not going to stop Aaron Rodgers. I just knew. I knew, and I wanted to watch it. And they look good. Yeah, that's game 1, Cody. Exactly. Jets look good. And trust me, guys, I'm going to get to your reaction. I'm just putting out the story all over the internet here and just peeking at some of these messages from all these haters. They're fun, too. And then what makes you mad is, and I'm not mad at the player. I'm just mad at the outcome because I want what's best for the player. I like it when a player says, I'm ready. I want to be, and Calvin Shepard says, Terrion Arnold is trending toward cornerback 1. Well, guys, I hate to say it, but the Packers picked on him. And they found mismatches. We'll give you your props. Listen, we talk trash, and then we humbly got to give credit where credit goes. That's how we do things here. But the Packers still going to fall apart. You're going to choke later. Go Pack, go from Jay Zoogs. We'll read your pro Packers love. We're not opposed to that. You owned it. You won it. You brought it. You were aggressive more than the Lions. Props to the Packers. But you got to come to Detroit and look out. Look out. Revenge is best served on a dish cold. Cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Okay, so then they were picking on Terrion Arnold, and they were picking on DJ Reed. I didn't want to see that. And then early in the game, Rich T, very much so. Listen, there are pieces of information that I'm not aware of. If that game plan was presented to me, and I said, oh, where's J-Mo? I need J-Mo a little bit more. But, Rich T, we are a family at Lions on SI. And as a family, we did have one wise man. His name is Christian. He predicted the Packers to win. So Lions on SI had an accurate report. 3 of us picked the Lions, and 1 of us picked the Packers. Now, You predicted a win. Doc, now that they lost, you have a lot of criticism. Where were they before the game? It doesn't do much for fostering your so-called expertise. It's not so-called. There is a way in which you foreshadow the game to go. I don't think the Lions foreshadowed the game to go like that. That they would get to the red zone and then not score. Remember, they had the 4th highest scoring offense last year, and they were able to score in the red zone. But why didn't they this time? Play calling wasn't up to snuff. The execution wasn't up to snuff. But yeah, we said there's going to be growing pains. Remember, my record prediction overall is 10-7 with struggles. And I said that my overall season projection was a little bit slower start, but then it gets a little bit better. But then in the end, this is the kind of game you're going to see against the best of the best somewhere in the playoffs. You're going to see this again. But outside of the record prediction, what fuels the criticism is the play on the field is not to their standard. You think they're happy right now, Rich T? You think they're just going, Mr. Macaroon doesn't have expertise? No, they're going, we didn't play good. We didn't bring our capability. We didn't use our skills. You should have used Tesla a little bit more. Should have had him on the same count as Micah. 15 snaps. He had the catch of the year. But I knew he was ill, but they found him. And I respect your criticism. Now, to the degree of my expertise, there is a cap. Mr. Morton, if you would invite me at 3:30 in the morning, I'd be there with him. And I would know. If he said, Mr. Macaroon, we're going to have a tight game plan, and it's going to be a little bit conservative and kind of ease in, to be like, what? Hell no. Throw the ball to J-Mo. Get the ball to Sam Laporta. Get Gibbs in space. I'd be like, Mr. Morton, Mr. Macaroon wants you to act, and this is my camera that I used to record the video. Mr. Macaroon would like you to act like Ben Johnson and Tanner. We're going to do what Tanner did. We're going to throw to the tight end. We're going to win, and we're going to have a rah-rah speech. We're going to fire people up. And you are not going to be up in the booth. I don't care. I'll be in the booth. You are going to stand right next to Dan Campbell and figure it out. What should I ask John Morton this week? You tell me. Exactly. And that's probably what really set me off. Trey, that's the nature of the criticism. We all tried to say, hey, these are guys in your system. They understand. John Morton did not need to be John Morton. He needed to come in and just continue what was going on with some small tweaks. Did that look like the Lions offense to you? In a nutshell. And listen, I just felt like it lacked explosiveness. It lacked speed. It lacked it. That's how I looked at it. It looked like an offense that literally looked like they were playing for the first time ever together. But it's Goff, St. Brown, J-Mo. That should look better. Where was the toss to Gibbs, back to Goff, back to Gibbs, back to Goff, and a nice touchdown that's wide open with J-Mo running? You just paid J-Mo $26.5 million. Use them. Celebrate J-Mo. You guys will look at the stat sheet. I'm on the air right now. That is not indicative of the usage for J-Mo. More. That is not indicative of the usage for Laporta. More. That's all. The two national media criticisms played out right in front of us. Weak interior line and new coordinators. Yeah, that's the nature of the frustration. But I got a feeling, I mean, that's just week one. Now, if you ask me, now, there's another question. I'm mad about what I just watched. And I'm also adding to the fact that my nephew, I told you, is needling me, and he's still needling me. Okay? This kid has learned the lesson that if Doc sends him 15 messages this week about how I'm going to kick his ass in fantasy, he's going to send me 65 on how I'm an overpaid and unworthy. And you guys think that what you say to me is nasty? It's nothing. My own family, my nephew, will tear me down to the studs. So you think anything you say to me hurts? You kidding me? My nephew is berating me right now. Your fantasy team sucks. You're the worst. How do people pay you? Your YouTube sucks. Syndicate's better. Valenti's better. You're a wannabe. From my family. And now with love, because what I messaged him, can't even air it. Oh, my nephew's the realist. He was, and I'm starting to share. I shared at Detroit Podcast what he was saying. He's like, he was like, it was over in the second quarter. He's the best. He got it. He got the bug. He got the real bug. He didn't get the I need to carry the Lions water bug. I don't know how people get that. Don't worry, guys. It's going to be okay. It's only the second possession. Don't worry, guys. Brad is going to do you guys right. Brad. It's like, I don't know where that mentality comes from. I don't have it. I don't have that mentality. I have the simple mentality. If I see something I like, I talk about it. If I see something I don't like, I talk about it in an angry and elevated kind of way. Losing by 2 touchdowns does not produce me going, it's okay, people. Absolutely. We did one. Go find it. I aired it on this channel. I talked to everybody, baby. I interviewed him and we joked and we talked junk, and I talk junk to him now. It's his fault they lost. It's his fault they lost. Go tell him, Doc told you not to go. You went and they lost again. 1,300 people on 2 platforms growing. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I know I sense it. I sense that you guys want to unleash and talk and do what you got to do. I'm an overpaid shill. Ooh, fancy. They give you patches on your shirt. Doesn't mean you know anything about sports. They're like, John, do you care what the Lions and the media think of you? No, not at all. The nasty things people say about me on X? No. Dude, I got friends. We're meaner to each other than anything said here. I just laugh. See, and I don't know what you call it, personality. I just care because I want to win. That's it. I just care. Plus, the Lions got my money. I got my investment back, but they got my money. I was a season ticket holder for 6 years, and I saw 6 wins. Oh, that was rough. That's rough on your psyche. Exactly. J Money Pop Rocks. The product on the field looked like it was a preseason team. Rust AF. Exactly. It's just not pleasant because we spend our time. I write about the Lions. I do videos about the Lions. I pay my bills talking about the Lions. And so you just want the production to meet the level of standard that the Lions have set. That's not the standard. That fell way below the standard. Look, you lose 27-26. You lose the way the Jets lost. Okay, fine. We move forward. You lose like that. That's terrible. If Mr. Mahdi is seeing, I'm trying. But the philosophy is, from my understanding, is he's very serious about his craft. He's very serious about football, and he doesn't want to take time for an interview just yet. He wants to be proven. He actually doesn't feel like he deserves to be on a podcast because he's still trying to be on a team, trying to get after it, and he's focused solely on football. Like, there's no time for the doc. I'm like, yes, there is time for the doc. I only need 8 minutes, and we'll be entertaining. I'm like, you don't have 8 minutes for the doc? Maybe. Oh, and that pissed me off too. Look, and here's when you say what gets you riled up. And sorry, like I said, you're yelling so loud in my voice. I'm going to get reinforcements here in 1 second. I don't like it when your rival does something that you should have did. And then the last play of the game, one of the last offensive plays, is your quarterback running a 9.6 40, 2 steps, and Micah chases Jared Goff down, sacks him, then does the in the air. That is annoying. That should have been somebody that the Lions got fresh doing that to the Packers. I don't want Micah Parsons flexing on the Lions. Period. $12-4. Listen, you guys know what I'm saying. He runs real fast and doesn't go anywhere. But that's not his fault. He's got an offensive line to protect him. They didn't even let Jared Goff do his job. You see, there was the one shot too. And it sticks in your brain too because it looked, you could see it. They go, and Tony Romo goes, man, Jared Goff's throwing the ball in the bubble. And Jared Goff looks like this. If you can rewind it, if you tape the game like I do, you'll see it. Goff throws it, and he throws it, and there's 5 guys in the middle. He's like this. He throws it, and he's like 5 guys are about to crush him in the pocket. Gets it over the middle. I want Jared Goff clean as a whistle, not scared and 5 guys are going to crush him every time he throws it. Protect Jared Goff. JG was crushed. Rainbow Girl, we're going to talk here for a second. I'm going to fill you in on something. Full stop. I am a podcaster. I'm a sports writer, but I have a team of people that make me look super amazing. Okay? So I don't worry about basic grammar. I don't care about the chat with basic grammar. We have professionals that help me out. And for the most part, I'm writing pretty clean. They've helped me grow in my profession. They've told me, stop it with the commas and the things. And just as I'm with them, they're with me. But in the end, I'll tell you this. Nobody cares about the grammar. When I look at my numbers, nobody cares. They don't care. They just don't care. Entertain, be interesting, tell us what we want to hear, and they care. You are respectfully in the minority about people who care about that. You might be an English teacher. And this is a chat on the internet talking about sports to a guy who heard Sports Illustrated with content that's a little bit inappropriate and still aired it. So sorry, respectfully, I don't care about basic grammar or what's in the chat and how they type it. Sorry. Someone said, how dare you type that? Jared sat down and took the question. So in the end, I really would say that after 7 years and millions of readers, I think they just care that I'm talking about the Lions. And in the end, that's why we have an edit button. Eventually, when I get some water down my throat and my nephew stops bombarding me with, can you get me Kristen Harper to sign my Sports Illustrated too? I'm like, nephew, I cannot ask Jared Goff if you can meet Kristen Harper. I can't meet Kristen Harper. And I work for the company. Please, John, please, I'm your favorite. I'm a professional. Jared, off the record, listen. My nephew really is a big fan. And he won't stop. But first and foremost, did you guys see the comedy he did? It was raunchy and it was awesome. Oh. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was funny. It was laid back. It was raunchy. It was great. And hell yeah, I'm going to air it every time, twice on Sunday, and I'm going to laugh my ass off when I see it. Someone was like, Quite frankly, I don't want to let you in on this, but that's offensive. Well, your $50 million quarterback let that air. He could have shut that down pretty quickly. If you pay him money, he'll let anything air. From my understanding. So that was hilarious. And of course, I'm going to highlight it. I don't know. Go look at it, Steve. I posted it and someone under the comment said, quite frankly, this is a little bit disturbing, Mr. Macaroon. Well, quite frankly, they said the company name that I work for and I laughed my ass off. So I am going to share it. And guess what? There's going to be never an impact because I'm the boss. That's what being the boss is great. That's why being the boss is amazing. I'm going to, you know what, Steve? I'm going to put myself in a timeout. I was wrong. Because guess what? I'm going to have a meeting with myself because I'm the head of HR. I think it said it in Rush Hour 3. You, Tito, I'm the president, I'm the emperor, I'm the king. So leave me alone. I'm the boss. I'm my own boss, baby. No, it wasn't an article. It was the Jared Goff video with the guy with the hair. There's 2 Jared Goff videos on our site today on at Detroit Podcast. All right. Are you guys concerned? I should do a banner, not a comment here. I should do a banner. Are you concerned that this is a trend and not a one-time thing? So who's to blame? And I think everybody was fair on our Twitter page. Everybody was to blame. Everything wasn't good enough. Is this a one-time thing? Or future looks bleak? And look, I'm going to tell you now, honestly, this is off the top of my head. If I spelled it wrong, I will change it. I probably should just look it up first. I don't know how to spell bleak off the top of my head. I was right. See, I'm honest and humble. Because I pay people to edit me. I'm honest. That's the one thing you know about me is I'm honest. I didn't know how to spell bleak off the top of my head. Because you know what it is? I do know how to spell it, but your mind always goes, if I put this on the internet, how many people are going to come back and say, Doc, you moron, it's B-L-E-E-K. That's my problem, is I'm always right, but then your instincts always go, wait a minute, what about this and what about that? And should you say this? And could you, you know what I mean? Could you offend this person? Could you offend Cody Yates? You know, you don't want to get kicked off the internet for just being an idiot. 1,400 people almost. Hit the like button. More likes. This is great. Wow. 2 platforms, one on X, one on YouTube. There's nearly 1,400 people here. Wow. That's really humbling. That's nice. Good Lord. Packer fans are loving. I feel like I made it. Packer fans are in my DM wild. And what's your record prediction now, Mr. Macaroon? That actually cheers me up a little bit. They think of me when they lose or when they win. I mean, it's nice. I'm getting the water. I'm getting the reinforcements. My wife is going to bring me water. Thank you, honey. She still loves me and listens as she leaves. Thank you. I asked for water in my favorite cup. Look at that. I got the best wife on earth. 90 minutes screaming on the internet. I needed some water. So I messaged her. Yeah, see? 15 years married. She's a saint. I'm telling you, if there's a saint, she's a saint. Hey! Oh, let's just take a little bit. I don't want to lose any followers, but let's just take a 2-minute detour here to remind everybody that Eric wants to bring up that Disparties won. Hell yeah, that was awesome. And did you know that the Wolverines were defeated because Sharon Moore forgot how to cheat. I'm not down for this clean era, brother. Get back to it. Call Connor. Connor seems like he knows some stuff. Dude, Connor was sending some subliminals to Sharon there on X. Did you see? He's like, Sharon, bro. He's like, this is what I'm seeing. There was some code in there. I know it. I'm going to crack it. Like every third letter was like, call me. That Connor's slick. Michigan's got to cheat again and get back to relevancy. Get back to it. What is all this cleanliness? Cheat. Listen, you've already sullied your reputation. Just go all the way and do it again. Cat's out of the bag. Just keep doing it. And did you know that an Oklahoma fan felt the need to choke out a Michigan fan? That made its way across my timeline too. I didn't share it because I didn't want to upset the apple cart because everybody already in Michigan hates me. But let me just say, Michigan losses are always amazing. I have it on DVR. I'll watch it again for the third time because Bryce Underwood was coached by John Morton too on Saturday. My God, Michigan, let the man throw. How do you guys feel about Davenport and what he did today? We'll talk about certain players. I felt like what I was saying a few minutes ago, I was a little disappointed that, Terrion was expected to be was expected to be cornerback 1, and he got picked on. And, got to bring it full circle. But, listen, I always am pro-Lions. But I want to let you know that Jayden Reed got some separation there. Didn't he? You know where he went? Seemed like Jayden Reed got a little separation on Mr. Terrion Arnold. Terrion, they said, had a groin situation and was questionable to return in the second half. Didn't come back, and then he was ruled out. Dan doesn't know the severity of what's going on. Listen, we can use semantics all you want. I'm going to, Trey, I'm going to all now fill you in. It's a philosophy I've used to my advantage in certain instances, not on the website, but in this arena. I think you can tell. But from my perspective, we don't let facts get in the way of a good story. Ever of Everdom. It looked like to me, from my memory, that Jayden Reed was galloping free and found his way a yard stepping comfortably in the end zone, if you know what I mean. He was galloping free. Former Spartan dog. And he found his way in the end zone. And I say that because in every fantasy team I have Jayden Reed. And everybody laughs and goes, you could have had X, you could have had Y. And I say, I don't care. I want Jayden Reed. He's a Spartan dog, and he's my Spartan dog. So, I don't know. It looked like he was open to me. And I have not yet officially watched the film of the game. I've been doing this. It's fun as hell. And guys, too, welcome. This is the first live post game I've ever done. I've always recorded them. I've always typed. I've always worked. But now we have a new operating system where I work in the mornings. I do the game story. And the boys work at night. This is great. And we have a live update from those talking. Terrion Arnold, this is courtesy of the great Corey Woods. Terrion Arnold shared that he suffered the groin injury during the Packers' second drive of the game. He continued to play until the team medical staff ruled him out in the second half. Oh, man, I got to watch this Dan Campbell stuff. Make sure you guys pick out the good parts, too. Campbell says people were asking me to fire Ben after 1-6. Damn, you guys were asking about damn. People were asking me to fire Ben after 1-6. Damn. You guys, so I wonder what the context of that question was. Wow. It was like it was Eric. I love it. I love it. Good. Good. That's the job. The job of the media is not to the job of the media is to ask questions that the fans want to talk about. Point blank, period. Not what I want to ask. It's what you guys want to ask. Eric, I'm proud of you. You humbly stated that and I don't say that I said I wanted him fired at 1-6. I asked, how come the other rebuilds of other teams are going better than yours? And Miss Sheila promptly said to me, I don't know why, but I can only speak on, I trust Dan and Brad. I like what I'm doing. And they promptly started to win. But I love it. I love it. Thank you guys for the 1,380 people. Smash that like button. And that means a lot to me. It really does. I'm shocked. I truly am shocked. This is fun. I mean, that was the fastest 90 minutes. I'm probably going to go hour and 45. I want to catch some of the Baltimore. But the next question I have is quite simple. It's quite simple. Is this a one-time pass? Or is this the Lions going to struggle to win games? Going to have to worry about John Morton? Going to not have the wins coming in bunches? Is this going to be a 9-8, 10-7, 9-8 kind of year? And I like some of you out there that are messaging, well, now we can get Hutch a little cheaper if he looks a little slower. Should I mean, how do you ask it? You just ask it. Do you want Hutch maybe to start the year a little slower so that the number comes down to like 44? Because JMO did the Lions a solid. Listen, in my humble opinion, just after several hours of the JMO situation, JMO is a nice dude. If he has a great season and he gets used better than this, he could command north of 35 million if he played this year and next year and just gambled a little bit. But he took some guaranteed money and he took it early. He gave a hometown discount, in my opinion. In my opinion, being that he didn't have to sign it. Yeah, man, I'm good. I feel like, okay, I'm not on an island on that thought. JMO's deal is the equivalent of a hometown discount. It is. If he waited and he balls out this year 10 touchdowns, he balls out next year 13 touchdowns, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, you're talking $35, $40 million. This year's market will blow up, and then next year's market will blow up. He's taking less than 30. That there's something to be said to that, or I'm going to stay on the nice side, or he's got weak reps. Because I would have been on the opinion, man, they're offering it, but if you wait a year, if you gamble, it's a gamble. They're giving you 60 guaranteed. That's half away, take taxes, that's 30. Give it, waste a little bit here and there, that's 5. Give some to representatives. That's at least $20 million on top of the 18 that you got before. That's enough to live. And so I always wrestle with that. Would I do something like that? I feel like, though, I'm a gambler. I feel like I trust my talent. I'd be like, hell no. I want to wait. Let's talk in January, Mr. Brad. I want my number to start with a 4 or a high 3. Yeah. Mr. Corey's a good dude. Very good dude. I don't know what he thinks of me at the moment, but good dude. That's what I like about Ahmed. He's got a good surrounding support. Oh no, it hit the chat. It hit the chat. Oh, we listen. Oh my God, 90 minutes on the dot with 1,400 people in the chat and 1,400 people in the show. on the button and it's growing. It hit finally. I didn't see it. I didn't think I'd see it, but I now see it. Oh, are we there? Rich T gets in the return of the SOL. I got to give it one. If they lose to the Bears and get blown out, maybe. I got to go through, and I apologize. If you're sending super chats, I don't think you are. But if you do and I don't get to it, hit a reminder, because you guys are sending comments so fast and so furious. It's not lighting up the same way. Like it'll usually hit the top. But hey, any super chats, go right to the front of the line. Get your thought to the world. A lot of people are seeing it. And now, you know what really makes me happy too, guys? And we'll get back to the main question here in 1 second. And we'll talk about SOL. What makes me happy is what you guys have been doing is you see your comment here and you've been clipping it and sharing it on YouTube with your friends and family. Hey, this guy's talking about me. I've seen like 5 or 6 this last couple of weeks where you guys clip the part where I show your comment and I talk about it and you share it on your platform with, hey, it means something to you. That means a lot to me. That's how I would be. If you guys notice, CBS caught me in the shot. It was the 3 amigos, Alex, Derek, and me. They cut off my. I mean, CBS, get some better editors. You just got to crop my face out. The CBS is like, we don't care about editing. Put him in it. Put his little one-eyed beady eye. Put his beady eye in there. I said, okay, man, okay. All you had to do is just a little crop, and there's no sight of a 5'5" reporter. Oh, man, you guys are great. Eric Taylor just drops $5 because he's the man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I had a lot of fun. Maybe we'll keep going. Screw the Baltimore Ravens. Are they winning? What's the score? Water. Straight water. Straight water. Water with ice. See? When you talk 10, 12 hours for a living, it was funny. I'm gonna you want to share a quick media story? I rarely get sick. The last time I was sick was the week of the NFC Championship, like in 2023. I was a little bit fatigued last year. So what happens is when you talk and do a lot of podcasts, your voice cracks. And so periodically I'll just start having coughing fits in the media room. And it's just because your voice gets dry. You're asking a lot of questions. You're talking for an hour in the media room. You're asking Dan questions. You're just talking. And then I'm also a psychologist. So I'm talking. So I don't hydrate all that well. So I'm starting to cough. And a reporter behind me goes, Macaron, you sound like you're getting sick. And I said, no, man, no. It's just a lot of talking. He's like, what are you trying to convince yourself? I said, no. I talk for a living. So I have to hydrate well. So, all right. This will be a theme. Is this a one-time trend or the future looks bleak? So you get to the game and Jordan Love has all day, which pisses me off. Like, I don't want to hear Dan Miller on my radio going, this is the storyline of the game. We can't get pressure. No. That's not you have to earn the right to sack the quarterback. No, you don't. You just got to win the rep, sack the quarterback. Football is a meat-headed sport. It's not all that complicated. See quarterback, see silly man behind center, sack silly man behind center. See him, hit him, hurt him. Stop with all this baloney. You got to earn the right to sack the quarterback. Blitz. Stop with the phony baloney explanations. See quarterback, hit quarterback, bring him down. And if Aiden's getting doubled, that should open the lane for Tyleek or for Davenport. But it's not enough. You guys, if you're going to count on Al-Quadin Muhammad to be the main X factor of your team, you're not winning a Super Bowl. And I'm only in the prism of Super Bowl, not beating the Bears, not Super Bowl. That's it. That's my prism now. I only have one prism, and it's rigid, and I don't care. I don't have to care. It's rigid. I care about one thing. How does this team look compared to the Super Bowl? How a team would look when they're playing in the Super Bowl. They didn't look good. Yeah, Barnes had a play. So the first thing you hear out of Dan Miller's mouth after the first two series is, oops, this team is not rushing the passer the right way. And then Brian Branch gets a silly penalty by throwing a helmet. You wanted him to be more disciplined. You didn't want to see that. But luckily that was it. And then unfortunately he makes up for it, but Rock Ya-Sin gets a penalty. He had a pick six. Holding 23. That was frustrating. So after the first half, I mean, it wasn't all that great. What was it, 17-3? You didn't score in the red zone opportunity you had, but you finally get the ball back and you get it to Laporta, which is good. You move the football and you don't capitalize. Those second down run calls to the interior were horrible. And here's what's frustrating is John Morton being here, I thought represented that there was going to be already like a familiarity with how to call the plays that you saw worked last year. What worked for Ben Johnson was creativity, different ways of scheming runs, setting up your opponent. Did the Lions look like they set up the Packers? It looked like they went with the same 15 plays that they came to the game with. That didn't look exotic. It didn't look special. It didn't look unique. And you didn't execute well. So you weren't running the ball all that great. You were not, I mean, it literally felt like if John Morton was going to call a play beyond 10 yards, it got vetoed. I mean, and here's the challenge when you do that, a defensive coordinator like the Packers is just going to sit down and bring everybody in. J-Mo takes the top off. Listen, I'm not being some special offensive coordinator. Tesla, your job today is to just run on this first half route. You got a simple thing to do. Run 40 yards straight, and we're going to just overthrow it. If you catch it, great. If you don't, that's great. But we need to kind of loosen up the defense a little bit. They had no fear. They were up in the business of the Lions. They had no fear and no respect because you weren't doing anything. 6-yard passes and 3-yard passes aren't going to do anything. Jeff in Southfield, cheers to you, brother. Fellow clone, baby, what's up? Always good to hear from you. Always good to see you, Jeff in Southfield. T couldn't make it. Brian gets in. So listening to you blather on about how we're not going to miss Ben Johnson was all a crock of crap. No, it was not a crock of crap. He's going to learn. You have to have this. Listen. Tonight, the doc is in the house. So here's the order. Here's what I'm going to blather on about right now. I'm going to introduce you to something right here, Mr. Brian Welsh. First and foremost, thank you for listening to me blather on. I'm humbled. This is Sir Sigmund Freud, mastermind of the human mind. So, Mr. Sigmund Freud is a wonderful, wonderful inspiration for all psychologists. It's the mom's fault. No, sorry, getting my sports crossed. John Morton must now go back to the lab at 3:30 tomorrow morning and learn what Ben Johnson did that was successful and copy it. And what that would indicate would be, remember too, that John Morton is a more conservative, old school kind of Anthony Lynn type. Now, you also have to have the weapons to do it in regards to if your offensive line is not going to block for 6 seconds or more so that the play can develop. Because remember, Ben Johnson had Frank Ragnow, Kevin Zeitler. So there's a little bit of a different situation. So you're not missing Ben Johnson per se. You're missing the Tate Ratledge of the world and Mahogany and Graham Glasgow stepping it way up more than what was going on today. So there will be adjustments. There is no way I'm coming back here after the Bears game and doing the same show. No way. They're winning. They're not going to miss Ben Johnson by the time, and it goes to my question. I think it's a 1 or 2 time situation that it looks like this, like that, where there's no standard. And then you'll start to see the offense by, the time you start facing the Giants and the Cowboys. So that's why we're talking about this question. Now, and Mr. Bryan, I take offense. I already forgot the word. It's so uncouth that I forgot the word that you used. Blather on. I only blather on about my success and my handsomeness and my blather. I only blather on about myself. The stuff that I say in regards to football has some meaning to the internet world. That's all. And I think I've done a good job over these 101 minutes not blathering on about myself. I might save that for the next in 15 or 20 minutes. You blather on. Blather on with macaron. You might have made me a millionaire. Blather on with macaron. When I sell this show, that's what I'm going to call it. We're going to blather on with macaron here. Call up 248. I got to write that down. Blather on, bloke. Listen here, mister. That's right. We do blather. That's how I pay my bills, brother. Maybe I'm wrong. I think your optimism is overtaking your realism, Doc. Listen, right now it's not where it needs to be. It has to get better. They're practicing. They're spending time. They're doing stuff. Got it. What he plans to change, and will there be more explosive plays? Now, I want to say this, guys. I don't want to judge the man, but did you watch his media sessions the last couple times? Ooh. Mr. Morton is doing the direct answering. I don't mind direct answering. What do you think about Micah Parsons joining? He's a good player. We'll work around it. We asked him, we're going to ask him in every 10-minute media session, 60 questions, because he gives 2 sentences for answers. That's it. It wasn't all, I'm not going to lie. This was the response we all gave when he was there. Oh, no, that's not going to work for me, brother. That's not going to work for me, brother. You got to open up a little bit. Why was I wrong today? I was wrong about the prediction. What did I wrote? It's like 12 hours ago. I think I kept it basic in my assessment today. Let's see. Predictions here. All right. Christian again picked it correctly. He had it more in line. I had it Lions 27, Packers 23. Here's what I wrote. I expect Detroit to remain a powerhouse team, even with new coordinators. I think Detroit looks to establish the run early, and Morton will find opportunities to secure explosive plays. I think I have to prove it to you guys that I wrote this. Where was that? So let me share it because I wrote it. And Vito edited it. And I think I was right. That's the crazy part. If they would have did it, here's the Detroit Lions on SI macaroon prediction. Oh, it was my fault. Look at what I wrote. Jesus. Maybe it is my fault. Maybe I am. The Detroit Lions are ready to climb the mountain again. With the sheer amount of talent, it is difficult to imagine the team struggling to find the end zone. Johnny Morton has so many weapons, including Gibbs. I expect them to run the ball, and secure explosive plays. More turnovers than the Packers. So in essence, is it fair to say if they just would have followed my prediction, they would have won? Is that too? I mean, I didn't forget that I wrote that, but I mean, I kept it kind of like I didn't go the first week. I share with you, I don't go like hardcore numbers the first week. It's just my overall thesis at 6:45 in the morning. You needed it. You just John Morton said they needed more explosive plays. Now I know a lot of that's the Packers, and they have a great defense, but you got to try more than once. You got to try. You got to push. You got to be aggressive. That looked so far from aggressive. It just looked like slow motion. It didn't look like the Lions offense. Did that look like the Lions offense to you? That looked like the Michigan offense. That's what it looked like. No cap. The diagnosis is do not copy Sharon Moore, people. Don't copy Sharon Moore. Copy Ben Johnson. Copy Tanner Engstrand. Mr. Morton, they've made it easy for you. I mean, my guy Logan was like, what is all this dinking and dunking going on? What is all this dinking and dunking and 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and run up the middle? Like, there was no. Can I get a toss outright, please? Can I get a halfback toss? The one reverse to JMO was nice. How about you run the other reverse to someone else? That was a basic plan, bro. That was basic. That was the Timo Lions offense. That's what's pissing everybody off. That did not look like the Lions offense. Just run the Lions offense. Don't change anything. I have to have my own installs because it's a new person and I got to change it up. No, you don't. Just run what Ben ran. This is not that difficult in my humble opinion. But guys, remember too, John Morton did not garner favor from the Jets fans in any capacity. And I don't think that delivery style is going to fly here in Detroit. You got to garner support for yourself. He's not into that. And I don't blame him. That's not his thing. You know, it took me 15 years to figure out how to just let it rip. But the let it rip style is way better than that. Oof. We asked him 19 questions, I think. And he gave a total of 100 words for all his media session? Whew. That was tough. That was a tough one. That was a tough one. Whew. I think he'll open up. That means I got to get creative. Mr. John Morton, I really loved your end around to JMO. It really was special. But what's the challenge here of your explosive offense? Why did it look like it stalled so much? John, I really thought you brought an interesting game plan. The team just didn't execute what you were thinking. But are you going to run some better plays? Are you going to run this a little bit better? Just copy Ben. No, I've done it 2 hours before. Yeah, it's close to the time. I'm having fun. And Steve, it flies by, man. It really does. There's 1,500 people in here. It just keeps growing. That's pretty awesome. So I just need to know from you guys, a couple more things here. I got to ask, that's what you guys are saying. Are you guys starting to assess that Bull's turn gets in? Is John Morton, Anthony Lynn, or no? Man, that's a little early after 1 week. It just got to get better. Yeah, that's tough, Brian. That is something that, people did discuss and talk about humbly. All the coaching talent left. But hopefully it's just a 1 week. Hopefully, to my question, it was a 1 week blip and they focus on the Bears and they get hyped up and whoop on the Bears. because it's whooping season. You got to beat the Bears. You can't be 0-2. Going into the Ravens, season could be over before it started. It can happen. Fluke loss to the Bears, go to the Ravens, you're 0-3, season's over. Oh, full slate. I think I think we got to be kind of in the middle. There are the strong reactions both ways, but where's the bootlicking for Brad Holmes now? People don't understand how arrogant he is. No pass rush. He's a great college scouting director, average GM. I disagree. And here's why. You have a point to share, but he was able to get a team like the Lions into the playoffs 2 years in a row. He was able to garner a handful of a core that was able to win. Started off with 3, then 8, then 12, then 15. You don't win 15 games by not having some depth and some organizational philosophy that can work. So he's not an average GM, because an average GM would be kind of like where the Bears are at, where they just keep recycling, or the Miami Dolphins, where there's no buzz. The guy's been there for a long time, doesn't do anything. Brad has some stuff on his resume right now, but he didn't make mistakes. Full stop. Hooker, Martin, developmental players, a handful of external free agents that didn't work out. Listen, there's going to be people that will go on their platform and just say Brad is great with no matter what they do. I don't know the agenda. Maybe they need to get on the field and punt with the Lions, or what they're trying to accomplish by keep writing the same regurgitated support of the team over and over and over and over, no matter what. They probably have an agenda. They need to get on the field so they can punt with the Lions. They need to get a credential. I don't know why someone presents themselves that way. Everything the Lions do is great when they haven't won a Super Bowl. Now, full slate, my messaging has always been challenge Brad to do better than what he's done. We will critique. I asked him directly. Hendon Hooker and Broderick Martin, those were the wrong picks. Those were full stop the wrong picks. The 2023 draft is looking right down the middle. Top 4 were great. Bottom 4 weren't. You made mistakes in 2023, your trade deadline deals were Donovan Peoples-Jones. You were not aggressive enough organizationally in your external free agent department to push and make a 1-year push, because you got people and you're trying to sell, hey, the more cracks we have added, the more chances we have to win a Super Bowl. It lined up. And remember too, when Dan Campbell was devastated in 23, he knew that was the biggest swing. That was in this wave. That was the biggest swing. That was the swing. Young talent, cheap contracts, hungry, everyone a little bit under the radar. You needed to maybe make a push then and in 2024. Now you have to just pay people. It makes it harder. So Brad Holmes is not an average GM. No. He's above average, but you got to challenge him to step it up this year and next year and the year after, to keep rebuilding, keep the talent low, and actually learn about external free agents that can rush the passer, that can deliver 17.5 sacks every single year. In, out, in, out, in, out. Hey, if you watched, did you see TJ Watt blow up some plays? $5 from Matt N. Legend. Thank you. Morton said during the preseason he's going to be taking more shots down the field. When can we expect that to start happening? That's a great question. What critical change needs to be made, and when can we expect some more deep shots? Deep shots will be in the game plan when there's opportunities, but you also got to remember too that opposing defenses are going to try to take that away from us. So we're not going to be forcing anything, John. We're going to be, take what the defense gives us. Not going to force anything, and if they're there, we'll take the shot. 99%, that's what he says. 99.9%, he uses the word, we're not going to force it. We can't force it. You can't force it if the opponent, they get paid to play defense too. Yeah, Mike Fisher. Exactly. I really didn't expect that much decline from the offensive line, and Hutch was John Cena invisible. You couldn't see him. They gave him attention. They knew where he was at. Yeah. Trey, you got a lot of good thoughts. Brad's not average, but like Derek says, he hasn't produced the Super Bowls. Um, he hasn't brought the Super Bowls yet, and we're due. Long past due. Absolutely. GAMG. John Q. What up, Doc? We'll be good to start 2-2. If we go 1-3, we'll end up missing the playoffs. Fingers crossed. And we hit 1,500. Smash the like button. 2 hours in. You guys are fueling me. Man, I don't know how to end this. This is nice. I do want to catch a little bit of the Bills and the Ravens. And I also, too, let's see, I'm behind now because I think our next article's got to go up. Let's see. So, what do you guys think? We'll transition. What do you guys think about next week? Do you need to wait and see what the Bears do? Are you concerned about the Bears game? Just one game ahead. No, I've done two. It's up there. It's up there. I like that. You guys are checking in on how long I'm going. This flew by. This 2 hours flew by. But yeah, I hope you guys liked it. Tell me what you think about the overall show. Because I'm still, like I said, learning. I feel that way too. And you're helping me. Put on a collared shirt on a Sunday, talking through things. I feel a little bit less angry, but I'm still mad. Mad as all hell. And T says this mess can't be fixed in 1 week. See, I think that's right, Corey. Unbiased. I like to say uncensored, unfiltered, dedicated to Detroit sports. And like I said, the second half, it got away from you. There wasn't much to talk about in the game because it got to the point. It isn't something where the game was that deep to break down. They didn't get into the end zone. The Packers did. They had more turnovers. They had the better players. They had the more impact players. And I got to see Rashawn Gary smash into the backfield. Yeah, no doubt. Matt, thank you. No, of course. There is no way that I think what I picked up on, Matt, is that pretty quickly. That's how I grew the podcast, was involving people, always responding to people. And the idea is I am one of you. I am a person that just started a show and was crazy enough for the idea that they felt like I couldn't be media. When in essence, I started from the ground floor of nothing, no experience. I walked into that media room with not a clue how to do a single thing. But I said, I can do this. That was it. And the more that they made me feel like I wasn't welcome, the more I said, I'm welcome. I'm going to take my feet off too, take my shoes off. And now I'm more welcome because I do it the right way. But the podcast was a staple. That I knew how to do. Doc, I love how conversational your shows are. It isn't you just preaching and ignoring the chat. Hell no, I'm never going to ignore the chat. I come here for the chat. You guys make it fun. You guys made 2 hours fly by. And I talk to the players. Yeah, I talk to them. I try my best to get garner information. And some of them are real tough to do. Like some of them are pulling teeth. Like, no. But you take it with a grain of salt. Like pulling teeth. And I will say this, okay? I'm not going to name names, but it's happened a couple times with the younger players, but they don't know. Patty. So a couple times, like they don't know how obsessive I am. Like I literally subscribe to every single reporter that has something to pay for. I pay for it. It's a deductible. So literally this week, I spoke to a player and I asked him a question and directly, and I asked kind of direct questions, and I kind of get a feel that some of them, a little bit careful around me, like they don't want, they may think I'm going to drop a bomb headline or whatever. And so one question I asked, he said, I'm going to give a no comment. I said, no problem. We kept it going. It's conversational. It's easy to talk to me. I'm the easiest to talk to, but my job is to garner interesting material. So then in the morning, I wake up early and I read everything. I love reading. I love learning about the Lions. I wake up and I read another reporter who had the same interview and was asked the same question and got an answer. I almost woke up my family because I bent over laughing. Like, if you're going to answer it to somebody else, maybe that was the purpose. I don't know how that works. It's just going to make me feel weird because I'm asking the same things they are, and to no comment me is weird. It's weird. Like I'm going to ask straightforward questions. Nobody, if they really were honest of the players and said, "Hey, Macaroon talked to you. What did you talk about?" They just football stuff, but in a way that's entertaining to the audience, so people will enjoy it. So I can keep the lights on. But to see that, I laughed. I laughed wholeheartedly. Like, bro, I'm gonna see what you comment on. So now the next story I'm gonna write about you, it's gonna be nasty. I laugh from the heart because I'm like, I'm gonna no comment on that. I'm gonna no comment on that, Mr. Macaroon. No problem, boss. No problem. It's a fun job. I'm literally lucky to be there. They literally should. I always laugh with security. I said, are you going to grab me by the collar and throw me out yet? Like I'm expecting my run to end when there's a video. I'm going to have a female producer and the Lion security just going to grab me by the neck and just throw me out onto the street on Rotunda, like in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. There went Doc, and I will air it. But I have fun with it because I care. I don't like losing. I don't like playing bad. And what bothered you most about the way that went down was the Packers now believe they're the king of the division. They believe that they're in line to take. You gave them hope. I couldn't do Doc's job because I'm asking the tough questions whether they want to hear it or not. No, that is the job. That is the job. To just, and I don't feel like they're tough. I just feel like they're what the fans want to know about. But yeah, it is interesting. Christian got the reaction story up. I'm going to post it real fast. A lot of fans said, throw the tape away. What can you learn from this? Man, Christian does a great job. Your guys' reaction is now up. Lions fans react to the loss. Lions fans react to tough loss. Throw the tape away. What can the Lions learn from this? This is good, actually. We got, 2 hours, I think, is good. Yeah, thank you, Eric. You guys are nice. And I think you guys get it. The smart ones get it. They just get it instantly. That's why I connect with you guys. You're the fans' middleman, Doc. Thank you. That's it. That's my job. Humbly, that's it. I don't ask what I want to ask or my agenda. I don't talk down to you. I just am the middle person between them and you. So I share what they share. And a lot of times I think what you guys think. So I just ask it. Simple. And I don't have to worry about something that others worry about. I just don't worry about it. If I think it, I ask it. Like I was thinking, like literally, if you want to know just inside, I had no questions planned for Aiden. And then I thought, oh yeah, Micah got paid. Are you, and then a question will come to me and then I just ask it. I just said, oh yeah, Aiden, have you thought about the defensive end market? Micah got paid. Do you watch his money? That's it. I don't have to have that thing that a professional, like guy that works for somebody else has to worry about. I just do my thing and go home. Oh, thank you guys. And like I said, people with access, no access, it's the same thing because I do try to get you the information because you guys want to know about it. So thank you. No, you're right. There are some outlets that have the access and some that borrow the access. Throw the tape away. That's not a bad way to react. What do the Lions learn from this? I should put a banner in here before I post all these links. What lessons should they learn? And then we'll call it a day because I think 2 hours is good for me. What lessons should Lions learn from Packers loss? Oh, see, look at that. I did that again. I did that last time where I put it in the comments. Yeah, burn the tape. That's what the reaction has been online to us. What lessons should they learn? What do you want them to see next week that looks different? First of all, run the ball more effectively. Offensive line, look like you know how to play the position. Yeah, see, look what Jared Goff said. It's all true. We'll move forward fine. We will. We've got good players. We've got good coaches. We'll be fine. It's just there needs to be a sense of urgency to improve. Today wasn't close to good enough. Courtesy of Nolan Bianchi. Exactly. What are you hearing, Anakin, from others that makes you seem a little frustrated? What are they saying outside of this group that you're not vibing with? I'm curious because I haven't sought out other opinions. I haven't listened to others. I know there's going to be anger. There's going to be frustration because look, that's the line. Today wasn't even close to good enough. That's the reason why it's frustrating. It wasn't close to good enough. We expect at this point there should be some closeness. Some level of closeness should be there with this group. And what's good, and I think what draws some anger is that because, and here, and I say this with all due respect, you know, there are people that were not satisfied with the defensive end position, and you guys were vocal about it. I'm kind of more in the middle. I feel like they're going away from that idea of sacking the quarterback to kind of be more of a tackle and bend don't break because they just it's what they're doing. But I respect those and you guys that are saying more talent's needed. You can't go. I mean, literally, the Lions are going into games with 3 defensive ends: Aiden, Davenport, and Al-Quadin Muhammad. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. You need more. Cycle them in. Wingo today was frustrating because it was inactive. So Troy, you've already formulated Trey, you've already formulated an assessment. Mo doesn't have it. You've already said you're out on Mo. No, you're right. That was not the best statement. I know. Dan, are we still good? Are we still good? But see, here's the thing too. What's he going to say? That's the tough part is that he just missed the standard. He chose the wrong standard answer, which is we're always looking for more talent. We're always looking for defensive end help. We just got to make sure it fits. That should have been the answer. We're good right now was just a vote of confidence for his guys. He's a player's coach. He will yell at them, but he's not going to say it in front of me. He's not going to be like, listen, John, Aiden slowed down and Marcus we just got for a relatively affordable price because we can't afford Trey. You don't think I want Trey Hendrickson? But if I gave him some bourbon, he'd spill the beans. He'd be like, Brad Holmes, don't give me the guys. Brad needs to give me some more. The best would be if there ever was a split. Could you imagine who digs the first person? Who digs first? Might be Dan. Brad gave me some of the better supplies. I could cook better. Who would crack first? Because right now it's brotherly. You start losing, some camps may have to form. If you got me a defensive end that costs $30 million and stop paying all your boys, you didn't have to pay JMO. You didn't have to pay Kirby. But what lessons should the Lions learn from this loss? Offensive line has to step up. They got to spend all week in the meeting room. They need to be more aggressive. They need to average a yard more per run, and they need to call plays to break down a defense a lot better. They got to get creative to find more chunk plays. Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra, JMO, Gibbs. The numbers are paltry. And it felt like Tony Romo found ways to keep saying that Gibbs was getting a lot of touches, but no yards. This is far below his expectations. I'm not seeing 2,000 yards today. Well, yeah, no duh. The defense of the Packers was pretty elite. So smash the like button. I'm enjoying it. Maybe 5 more minutes. We'll go a little bit longer. I think we've hit the longest we've ever gone. But man, you guys make this fun. It's fun. We're just having a conversation. And I think you guys like that. Now I'm getting all the story by Christian out all over the internet. Fans react to Detroit Lions opening loss. Throw the tape away. We'll have grades in the morning, PFF, an opinion from Vito. I'll let you program a little bit. I'll ask. I haven't, because Vito asked me. Vito's going to write a column tomorrow, an opinion piece. What should his opinion piece be about tomorrow? Should it just be what Lions lead to learn about this? What should Vito tackle tomorrow? Because he's very insightful, he's very direct, and he's very honest and real, and he can write the crap out of a story. All Fs. I think Christian will hit some Ds in there, but we'll see. I'll tell him right now. They want all Fs. But I'm curious, Anakin, what was the reaction from others? Is it just it's one game? Don't worry about it. Oh, I don't know. What's the other reactions out there? Dave Burkett stories says Lions cornerback headed for MRI, hopes to play through groin injury. That's not good. I mean, you can't play through a groin injury. Listen, you can't play through a groin injury. Okay. Let me say this in a much different way. You can't play that position correctly, properly. You're going to go up against DJ Moore with a groin injury? You're going to go up against Colston Loveland with a groin injury? DJ Moore? Rome Odunze? Take a week off. Let that groin heal. We know you're a warrior. Dude, you train, you spend 4 hours watching film. Can you play cornerback with a groin injury? A mild one? I feel like a mild one becomes a bad one. One little shift. You got to shift and move. And I don't think that is the right approach. I hope so. Hope it's mild. I mean, my God, I don't know. Groin means sit in my world. So were you guys bothered by the "we're good" comment? What was your reaction to that? Dan's a player's coach. Were you upset by "we're good"? I know he said a lot more. He said, "We're good right now. We got Marcus Davenport." Ice that thing. Rest. No potential for future. You just can't dodge the injury bug, man. Man, it was disappointing. Disappointing, angering, frustrating, because like Jared Goff said, it was not to the standard in any capacity that would be anything that meets the standard of the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions now have standards, and that's the way it should be talked about, treated, and analyzed. What lesson should they learn, in my opinion? They should definitely start with this. I need Marcus and Aiden to move forward, stay on the edge, stay on the defensive line. I need them not to be dropping back. It looked funny on film. The more you watch it, the worse it looks. Aiden, as the receivers just kind of just like running right by him. I mean, LaFleur and any offensive mind can easily attack a defensive end in coverage. Now, and maybe you're trying to surprise them, but every team in the division knows you in a way that it's not going to be all that surprising. Lessons learned. You got to rush the passer. You have to make sure that the offense gets back into rhythm, scores in the red zone, finds avenues to get rhythm much earlier, and you got to take some more explosive shots. You can't be that predictable. Notice when Dan said we're good, Z signed with the Eagles in 2 days. We're obviously not good. There must have been some other reason why the Lions didn't sign him. It was money. It was simple. I thought it was just money. Oh, Cartier. I don't know how to handle this type of comment because I did. Maybe that's why the Lions don't like me as much, or no second credential. Doc, do a story on the crazy high ticket prices. I did. The Lions, for a family of 4, via stories from bookies, and they analyzed the ticket. It would cost you $1,900 to take on average for a family of 4. $400 tickets, $60 parking, 4 beers, 4 hot dogs. It's there. So you just type in, and also too, MLive did it too. It's the highest. It's the highest in the league. $1,900 for a family of 4. I can't even afford that. I wouldn't pull it out of my wallet to pay it. Let's just say it's $200. That's $800 for tickets. And these kids eat. My nephew could eat 4 hot dogs by himself. It should not be the highest. It's wrong. And you parade the media in there, feed them food, and make them take photos so you can show for them. Come on. Now, I have gone to the Tigers one, but I'm not really a Tigers reporter. I just kind of go once a series and analyze and talk about it on a podcast. But you're gonna have the media in to have a review of the $25 hamburgers you're selling. Number 1 highest price, like you should be the 5th or 8th. Or maybe instead of going to 30% rate over 2 years, you just go like 5%, like a little steady. Like they hit the consumer hard. It's painful. It's a painful hike. It's painful. Nah, it shouldn't be number 1. You're not the best team in the league. It shouldn't be. It should be commensurate with your ranking. You should be the 8th, 9th highest. It should be right now $1,000 for a family of 4, and that's still high, but reasonable. Oh, well, you're gonna get some hot takes out there. What hot takes are you gonna? Oh man, we got some. Oh my god, the hot takes are gonna start flying. Skip Bayless said that. That's funny. I gotta go check that out. T gets in. Y'all, Skip Bayless just went live saying Jared Goff looked like a UDFA backup. The hot takes are gonna fly. It's all gonna be about the coordinators. It's all gonna be about the runs over. You invited it. Hey, the media is not going to be able to tell people to calm down on this one. It's a bad loss. Hamburger Harvey. That's not nice. Huh. I don't have that much power, my friend. Yeah, for sure. That's crazy. 1,575 people and growing. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Over 2 platforms, man, that's really nice of you guys. That's humbling. I'll give one more retweet here. Oh, when you go on my X right now, the bootlicking comment is the one that's frozen up there. Oh man! Luckily, I think it updates as we go. Nice. Man, you guys made me feel good. Man, Trey, your comments, man, are really nice. I appreciate it. I think that's what I like. It's the conversational style. Even those of you, even those that blame me, I ruined the Lions season. That's kind of funny. Brad's right. Rush, Doc. We didn't have a rush tonight. We didn't. It's not to the standard of anywhere near professional. Wait a minute. The Lions didn't have a rush today. Does that mean tomorrow the Lions are going to go out and sign a free agent that can ball? Howie did it. He got the best one. Oh, no. Does that mean we're getting Jadeveon Clowney tomorrow? Howie got Za'Darius. Does Brad get Jadeveon? That seems like a comparison. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. I'm of the opinion the Lions bounce back. They typically don't play games like that twice in a row. Otherwise, next week will be fireworks. After Ford Field, drive to the office. Next week, the talk will be in the studio. In the other office. What rush, they say. What's Judon doing? Is he balling? Was Za'Darius the only answer? And that's it? Is that why maybe that's some source of your guys' anger? My anger is from the standard and watching bad football. Is Judon balling? Man, is that we're good comment going to be the bar is high comment for Dan Campbell? Could it reach that level? We're good. We're good. Man, was that the first crack in the armor? Was that the first time publicly he let his guard down? And within that very moment, Howie Roseman snatched up a player you could have had. It can go just that quick. In football, in life, the second you believe you made it, there's somebody trying and bigger than you. The second you believe, hey, there's somebody starting a network, there's somebody starting something. Man, I humbly appreciate 1,600 people. Wow. That's nice. I'm going to actually take a photo. I'm really humbled by that. That's just, I don't know. Thank you guys. I'm taking a photo of it. 1,600 people in here right now listening to me complain about the team that I grew up watching. That's nice. That's really nice. Yeah, watch the doc. They're like, they don't watch because they're like, that guy's forehead's too shiny. They like Danny Rogers' podcast better. I don't know why. I think she's better than me as a podcaster. They like the Tim Twentyman podcast much better. Hey, Taylor, your offensive line looks like it's going to be very youthful and very successful this year. Tell me why. Taylor, tell us why you guys are going to go 17-1. Okay. Dan, I know you lost 27-13, but you see that Tesla catch? What does that mean? Well, we got that catch was sick. Damn, I went 2 hours 20. You know what? We got to give it some love. Let's just enjoy one good moment together. Of course, T, you and us complain. No. I'm going to correct you. We complain. We listen. This is a we family. I host the show. I direct what I want to say, but you guys have a say. You direct what you want to do. $10. Thank you. Get your last super chats in. Get your comments spread to the world, to the 1,600 people here. The thing that made me the most upset about the "We Are Good" comment was that I know it was BS. Dan will be the first person to tell you to never be satisfied and to keep pushing. Got to keep pushing. We're good right now. You're not good enough. But see, the thing is, though, and here's the problem that I see with this, is that the sacks are going to come, but it's not prioritized the way it's like in the others. Like they more look at it like pressure rates, pass rush win rates, moving the quarterback off their spot. So I think that we view it a little bit more in terms of just the sack number. They view it like a little bit more analytically in terms of the style. And so there's a little bit of a meeting of the minds in the middle where you still need to sack the quarterback. It's a negative play. You still need somebody that you could have had that. Trey Hendrickson guarantees you 17 sacks a year. Would he have done it? You never know. You needed another dog opposite of Aiden. And for week 1, it wasn't Davenport to the degree in which you need him to produce at a higher level. It just got to be better. It was okay, but not good enough. You got to move the guy off the spot. You got to win you got to win a lot more. All right. Now, I think that's good. We fire it up. We get pissed at losses. And then we talk about at the very end, what's the silver lining? How do we talk those that need it off the ledge? Now, we should never be on the ledge. We should always be at the window, finger pointing. Never on the ledge. Never go outside. We sit inside, we sit in the lab, and we sit in our chair. And here's the first thing we do. Here's what I'm going to do after this. And I, guys, truly from the bottom of my heart, I might even go cry after this. 1,700 people in here after a game. I will thank my wife for giving me the time to do this because I love it. This is what I'm a podcaster. That's what I'll always be known as. If I ever go to the Super Bowl and they say, identify your company and what you are, I'll always say, John Macaroon, podcaster, Detroit Lions on SI. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a glass of bourbon. I'm going to pour 2 ounces of Basil Hayden into the ice. Mix a little bit of syrup, a little bit of bitters, twirl it all around. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to say, all right, what I like today. Good coverage, 10, 11 stories, flowed content-wise throughout. The podcast did wonderfully. You guys were engaged and loved you felt like you were part of it. Another glass of bourbon. You think I drink bourbon out of a steak cup? That would be something, but no, I don't. I have a glass with my name on it. You know, my family, as I get older, kind of ups the gifts, which is cool. Yes, I will tell her thank you. Oh man. And then I guess we got to say it. Did Aiden look like he was pushing Did Aiden look a little bit different? I'm going to watch the film after. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the glass, enjoy it, drink it, watch some football. Then I'm going to watch the film again. I'm going to find the things I liked, the things I didn't. And then here's what I'm going to think for those of you that need to be talked off the ledge, that are like getting close to being way, way, way beyond where you don't think that there's hope. Now, there should be a little bit of fear and panic, but here's the reason for hope. You have more motivation against the Bears than you do against the Packers. The Packers, there was probably a belief that there was going to be, look what Dan said. We kind of expected there's going to be a momentum from the gaining of Micah Parsons. There was going to be momentum that was going to be gained by adding Micah Parsons. So there's momentum built up, and there are certain things that they may be expected. Now the motivation is you're going to be in front of the home crowd. Ford Field is going to be, to a degree that I'm not going to hear myself think, you are better than the Bears at this moment. You were pretty close to the Packers when they added Micah Parsons, and they have a defense that was pretty much balling, and you're playing on the road with a motivated crowd. Their crowd was into it, and they were making more plays than you. You're going to have a nice week of practice where you're going to have some motivation, and this game plan has to be a lot better than the first one. The first one is trash. They know it. We know it. We all know it. And they all know, as a group, they go 0-2, the hole's that much deeper to get out of. Dan Campbell's squads tend to rebound. But guys, also too, remember, there are some factors. You got lucky on a lot of football plays last year. It could also be the football luck bouncing in the other direction too. A couple balls don't bounce your way, things like that. So the football gods got to fall in your favor. I hope they do. I think it does. I think your offense plays better. And also, too, I think, too, here's where it comes in, guys. Hey, here's the thing that is going to help you move forward. I think Isaac TeSlaa plays more. If that's your first catch in the NFL, if that's what you're bringing to the table with your offense, you just make a couple tweaks. TeSlaa's in the mix, and you have an opportunity to move forward and to have this offense look a lot better through Gibbs. They're not going to run the ball for less than 4 yards a carry at home. The offensive line is going to learn. So what happens is you watch it and you go, wow, that's what we did. That's a beautiful statement that Dan can flash up. If you guys play like this, you're going to be wiped off the field by everybody. By the Browns will do it to you. They just went out there and competed. The National Football League, week to week, is that tough. It's that tough to win. It's a fine line. So you gotta step it up. It's the Bears. You gotta punk the Bears. You got punked. Now you gotta be the hammer this week. Tomorrow there's a media session. I can't tell you what time yet, but I'm guessing, I don't know exactly what time, but we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Tomorrow-ish, in the afternoon-ish. So we'll see. Man. We'll see what we get a chance to talk to him. I'll look at the schedule and find out when we get to talk to him tomorrow, and then we'll ask some questions. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Alan, have you ever asked a question that you could tell Dad didn't like? I asked directly why, when he fired Aubrey Pleasant, the game that cost Aubrey Pleasant his job, it looked like there was no adjustments made. It looked like something was going on, and there was something that was going on that just wasn't getting corrected. So I had asked Dan, I said, did you talk to Aubrey about what was going on in the game, and was there corrections made? And he's like, yeah, there was corrections made. There was communication. I said, but it didn't look like anything changed on the field. And he said, that's why we're having this talk right now. So he definitely wasn't thrilled to be discussing further why Aubrey Pleasant was fired. He didn't do his job good enough. He wasn't communicating, effectively with the players. They weren't executing. The defensive backs weren't growing to the degree, and he got whacked. So yeah, so I mean, like I said, I feel like I asked 9 reasonable questions and one that might be just out there or a little bit outside the norm or whatever. All right. Yeah, no, I can't ask that. I mean, you can't. I mean, first of all, it doesn't make any sense. Can you ask Brad? The fans want to know why he's so cheap. That's not really the case. That's not reality. He just spent guys. You guys got to direct your questions the right way. If you ask that, he's just going to say, how's that cheap when I paid Panay, Amon-Ra, Jared Goff's making $50 million? It's a misdirected question, brother. He's not cheap. He's operating within the parameters of, and I need you to follow at Detroit Podcast. You'll get the joke. I don't want to grow up, but if I did, I'd want to be a Brad Holmes draft pick. He loves his peoples. And we need him to love other people's too. That's the problem. Brad, why do you love your peoples? John, I love my peoples because we research them, we scout them, we do the psychological test, we spend hours and hours and hours and hours with them. That's the issue. The lessons learned are your peoples are nice. Your people's evaluations are nice. But other people's are also nice, but they may not be also in that nice category in one of the boxes. I'll say this. The Dallas Cowboys, if you guys watched it, I'm not going to share something that was so out there. The Dallas Cowboys, when they were winning, they brought in Charles Haley. And I watched the documentary from 1 hour to the 8th because it was so amazing. So Charles Haley was doing things in the locker room to himself that Bill Romanowski was shocked by. And then to try and leave San Francisco, he just removed his pants and let the general manager know what he was working with. And that got known by everybody. And and it's in the documentary. And I forget how it was described, but let's just, another kind of way. So he let everybody know what he was working with. And the Dallas Cowboys still took him, and he was bipolar. But the man could ball out, and he developed a close relationship with the coaching staff and the players, and coach, the coach after Jimmy Johnson, was like, treated him like a brother. Coach Switzer. And so what that means is sometimes your evaluation of your peoples needs to expand to talent. Pure, unadulterated talent. I don't care if you go to church. I don't care if you spend time in the community. I don't care if you like to have tea and biscuits with the team. You come in, you sack the quarterback, you do a dance, you go home. You don't have to talk to the media. You come in, you lock down a wide receiver, you dance in the end zone, you go home. That's it. The Lions like their peoples to be fully, I think, way too stringent. Way too stringent. And with that, that's a big lesson learned. More talent's needed. Hopefully it comes. I'm the Doc, John Macaroon. We will talk tomorrow. Thank you for 140 amazing minutes. We got to 1,700 people. I think maybe one of the bigger ones that was a live show across 2 platforms. Like, subscribe, tell me what you think, comment, super thanks, super chat, members. I'm doing member only videos that only, the two dozen early members that hopped in. That's amazing. Can see. Thank you. Right? Bill Romanowski had the nerve to be shocked by something. It was a loss, bad loss, but there will be lessons learned. Stay tuned at Detroit Podcast. We'll share our conversations with Dan, with John Morton. What's going to happen? It's going to be a wild week. Should I go to Chicago and try to talk to Ben Johnson? I'm coming to Florida. I'm coming to Chicago. I'm going to be the Jordan Schultz of Chicago. And just sit there. So, Ben, you were mentored by Dan. Did it hurt you that you weren't given the biggest raise possible? Do you feel like Dan took all the credit? Do you want to sign this Sports Illustrated Kristen Harper magazine? I can't open it at all, John. What is this? With that said, my time is up. You can't read my Sports Illustrated magazines at all. You can't see them. They're private. 0-1, not 1-0. Let's go to next week, and it's going to be a zoo. It's going to be a circus. But I hope you come and find it and find entertainment and joy at Detroit Podcast and the Detroit Lions Lone Wolves Podcast, Lions on SI. Thank you, guys. My time is up. Laugh. Laugh. Get mad. Get passionate. And the Lions got to get back after it. And we'll be here to document it all. Start to finish. Wall to wall. I'm the Doc, John Macaroon. Thanks, everybody.